What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ask Not Me Anything podcast. And today I sat down with my friend Nico, aka New York Nico. I had to ask him about 5 times before he finally agreed to come on the podcast. So I'm super happy that he came through. And we just had a really incredible conversation about his whole story and how much he loves New York and if he eats baby carrots or not. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's get to it. Nico, what's up? Thanks for coming. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How was your day?
It was great.
Cool. You saw a green lady today?
Saw a green lady today. Did some work.
Nice.
Came home. Came to see you. Perfect day.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Yeah. Let's just jump right into the questions.
Okay.
And first question is coming in from Jamie Lil. How'd you get started tapping into the creative / weird in NYC? And how'd you find your people / niche?
So I was born and raised in New York, in Union Square specifically. After college, I was making music videos. That's how I was kind of making my modest living. And I was living in Brooklyn at the time, and I kind of figured that I exhausted all my resources here in New York. So I decided to move to Los Angeles kind of on a whim. And I didn't have a driver's license because I'm born and raised here. I didn't have any job prospects. I didn't have my own place, but I moved out there figuring I would become the next Hype Williams, but ended up failing miserably. Failed my driving test 3 times, had to share a room with a kid on Craigslist, wasn't booking any work. So I came back to New York. I was living with my parents. And one day I went to Union Square, kind of just like to think and figure out what my next move was. Did I say Washington Square?
No, I meant Union Square.
Oh, Union Square.
Yeah.
Okay. So I went to Union Square and I was sitting, and then I noticed this New York street celebrity who I'd seen for like the past 10 years growing up. He was this tall white dude with dreadlocks that carried around a 10-pound sign that said, "The 6'7" Jew will freestyle rap for you."
Nice. So he was the first guy.
Yeah. So I used this low point in my life as an opportunity to go and chat with him. I was generally pretty shy. And someone like him, even though he's just like a everyday street guy, I considered him a celebrity. So I worked up the courage to go and talk to him. We ended up walking around the city for a couple hours, and by the end of it, I was like, you know what? I've never made a documentary before, but I would love to make one on you. And he said yes. In
that moment, you got inspired to make a documentary,
Yeah.
even though your whole background at that point was music videos.
Exactly. I'd never made a doc before. So I made the documentary on him. You know, in retrospect, obviously it was very flawed, but I was obsessed with it at the time, and I just continued making these kind of day in the life documentaries on New York City street characters. So
Nice. And you called it, didn't you have a whole title?
I called it
for
Know Your City,
Know Your City.
N-O Your City. Still online. Did 16 of those. Larry the Birdman, Matthew Silver, Wendell the homeless fashion designer of Union Square.
These are the OGs.
The OGs, yeah. So, those videos, they were cool, but they were like 5 to 6 minute YouTube videos, so they weren't really getting eyeballs.
Yeah.
So I was trying to think, what can I do to, make this more accessible? And it was around the time that Instagram introduced video. So I started documenting kind of those same characters and additional characters and putting it on Instagram, and people started falling in love. And and the whole LA thing, at the time when I was there, it was a miserable experience. I was so depressed. I had so much anxiety, but in retrospect, like, it was the best decision I ever made, because if I didn't experience another city, not to mention all the cities I experienced on the way to LA, because I did a road trip there, I would never have had the appreciation for New York that I now have. It just made me realize that, like, this is where I belong. This is, I resonate with these people way better than anywhere else. And
yeah.
So it was a blessing in disguise.
It's funny how you had to leave it to realize how much it meant to you, how much you loved it.
Yeah, I always give that advice to people when they're feeling, like they're in a creative rut in New York. I just say, go somewhere else for a bit and then come back and you'll be good. Interesting.
And then, so with your New York Nico Instagram account, did you have that Instagram handle called New York Nico while you were in LA?
No. New York Nico was
when was it formed? When did you get the name?
I guess
did someone coin the term for you, or did you come up with it yourself?
No, I just came up with it myself. My full name is Nicolas, or my birth name is Nicolas, spelled without an H, and people always spell it with an H. So I thought that by calling myself Nico for short, that people would understand that Nicolas is not spelled with an H, and it's just Nicolas.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just had a ring to it. I would say I made that my name in like 2014, maybe. So like 6 or 7 years ago.
But you had Instagram before that, so you changed your handle name?
I changed my handle.
What was it before New York Nico?
It was Ricky Shabazz, which is the name that I was making music videos under.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the next question, which is from Alia Mohammed. What's your definition of a New Yorker?
My definition of a New Yorker. Damn, that's a good question.
It could just be a sentence. It could be. I mean, I think a lot of people say once you hit your 10-year mark.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, it has a lot to do with attitude. You can always tell a New Yorker by their attitude. But I don't put like a timeline on it. Like I've heard you're a New Yorker after 10 years thing. Right. I don't think that that's necessarily true. Like, Trent from Side Talk, I would consider him to be way more New York than a lot of people who were born here.
He's here for just
a little bit. And he's been here for like a year and a half.
It's a baby.
So yeah, I wouldn't. And then there are people who have been here for like 20 to 25 years who I wouldn't consider a New Yorker.
Yeah, interesting.
Like,
So it's kind of experience based.
Totally.
Time helps, but it doesn't necessarily mean that.
Yeah.
I think people that have been here through the pandemic, lived here and stayed here, maybe not necessarily will make you a New Yorker, but definitely gives you a lot of points.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I think if you left during the pandemic and you didn't have a good reason to, then maybe you lose some points, but I don't know if you gain points for staying here throughout the pandemic.
Fair. Question from Arburi_ha. Do you like IKEA meatballs?
Yes.
Yeah?
Love IKEA meatballs.
More than any other meatball?
No, not more than any other meatball. I love the meatball shop meatballs. But IKEA meatballs are super solid.
Okay.
I like the that sauce that it comes with, like cranberry or whatever.
Right.
Not dingleberry. What's it called? Gooseberry or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's been a while since I probably had IKEA meatballs maybe 2 times in my life. Need to do that again soon.
They're solid.
Next question from Maxwell Swift. Do you have a favorite borough or least favorite borough?
Well, least favorite borough is obviously Staten Island. I mean, that's not super fair. I've probably been there. Well, I've been there a bunch of times, but I haven't really experienced it. So yeah, maybe I'll change that this summer. If someone lives in Staten Island and wants to give me a solid tour, I'm super down. Yep. But from what I've experienced of Staten Island, it's very similar to like Jersey, where it's just like very expanse and.
I mean, even Staten Islanders clown on Staten Island, so it can't be. I mean, but yeah.
But then again, Wu-Tang Clan was formed in Staten Island.
Yeah, and apparently it has like the second largest Ferris wheel in the world.
I've heard that. Yeah.
Did it ever get built though? I'm not sure. Anyways, if you're listening to this right now and you're from Staten Island and you want to show Nico a good time there, slide in your DMs.
Yeah, but maybe don't.
Okay, maybe don't.
Maybe I'll just figure it out on my own this summer when I get bored. Favorite borough though? I mean, born and raised in Manhattan, so I would have to say Manhattan.
Fair. It's a classic.
It's a classic, yeah.
Next question comes in from What in the World with 2 R's. Who are the 3 people who have been the most influential to you?
Living or dead or both?
Let's go with both. Heartbeat, no heartbeat.
Oh man. I wish I had like a list of these people written out, because I do have a lot of people who have inspired me, but I don't know if I can pull it from the top of my head.
Let me make the question more specific. Most influential New Yorkers.
Normal Bob Smith was very influential.
That's who I thought you were going to mention when you were telling the story of Union Square when you walked and you. And I
didn't know him then.
Okay, because you said 6'7" Jew, and then I thought you were about to mention Bob Smith. But yeah, you introduced me to him a while ago, and I could
Yeah. So for those who don't know Normal Bob Smith, he was like the Union Square documentarian from like 2006 to 2018, I think, or 17. He was just there every day filming and documenting and becoming friends with everybody and kind of like turning it into like a reality show.
And what was his medium? Oh, his medium
he would film it on like a point and shoot camera that had video capabilities.
Yeah.
And he would put it on his YouTube, and it was just so entertaining to like meet all these. He would call everybody amazing strangers. So to meet all these amazing strangers that, you know, he would kind of show us was super cool. And I would hang out with him a lot, and you know, just seeing him kind of work and interact with people, and that was very inspiring.
So the Normal Bob.
Who else?
Well, you mentioned before Hype Williams. Would you still consider him?
No.
You're not
I wouldn't consider Hype Williams. He's just like, when you think of music video directors of all time, he's like, but I now stay very far away from music videos. Right. Man, I know I'm gonna forget some people, and it's gonna. Well, my parents. Am I allowed to say my parents?
Dude,
I feel like that's very unoriginal.
Of course. I would answer the question with my parents.
Well, my parents are number one then.
Yeah. That's cute.
Yeah.
One over the other, or they're evenly number one?
No, they're evenly number one. I can't.
All right, well, I'll count them as 1, 2, and then Normal Bob Smith.
Yeah.
Normal Bob. Well, tell us real quick about your parents. Because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, my parents are both artists. They're graphic designers. My dad was the art director at the New York Times for like 35 years. My mom has her own studio. She does branding, and they're both great. And I didn't really appreciate growing up in such an artsy household until kind of recently. But yeah, they always, you know, I when I was younger, I made some really stupid decisions, and in terms of like art related things, like making really stupid short films and music videos, and they kind of just like let me do my thing, and I talked to them about it now, and they were like, you know, we knew that you had a good head on your shoulder and you might be making something that was kind of insensitive now, but in the future, like you'll realize that, you know, you need to go in another direction.
Right,
when I was young, when I was at school, so I went to like this progressive art school.
Little Red Schoolhouse.
Little Red Schoolhouse. And
right across from
from Bar Petey?
Village.
Oh, Village Revival Records, yeah. But they really like prided themselves on like allowing us to do anything in the name of art. So I would make like really violent short films in 9th grade. Like I would just do anything for shock value.
So you're like 6'9" before his time.
Pretty much, yeah. I wasn't in front of the camera, but yeah. So, you know, in retrospect, I'm so glad that those films like don't exist anymore, because they're so embarrassing to think that like I thought this was artistic.
Right.
But
hey, it kind of goes along with the theme of going to LA. Like you had to do these things and realize it was a mistake.
Right.
To realize. Yeah.
And I guess my other big inspiration was my film teacher in 9th grade, who allowed me to make all these things. Because he really made me realize that I wanted to be involved in film.
Yeah.
So yeah, Normal Bob, Chris Reed, my 9th grade film teacher, and my parents.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next question, which comes in from Maryland 80s. I'm scared to go to New York because I heard I'm scared to go to New York because I heard it smells like urine. Is this true?
I mean, I'm used to it by now. I'm sure everywhere smells like urine, but I think it smells more like weed. Like everywhere I go, it smells like weed. And especially when you have to wear a mask, like that smell gets stuck in your nostrils.
Smell. Yeah. I mean, that's a better smell than urine. Right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it depends who you are, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
there's a lot of dogs in the city, and they just pee on the sidewalks.
Yeah,
and then
there's a lot of humans who
too,
do too. Yeah.
So
I actually peed around here a couple days ago.
Because
I really had to go, and
on the street. I mean, you know what? We've all been there.
Yeah.
It's just make sure it's not close to a school.
Right. Exactly.
Because that's the trick.
Exactly. My friend actually did that once
and got caught.
It was in Boston.
But
he got caught, and he had to do like 200 hours of community service or something.
And then he got it wiped off his record.
I don't know if it's wiped off his record, but he had to do 200.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm not going to shout that guy out, but shout him out if he's listening.
Yeah.
He knows who he is.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't, to answer Maryland 80s question myself, don't be scared to come here. I mean, once you're here, you just like that's like nothing. You become resilient to like a lot of things, and this is on the bottom of the list. Question from Perez Ariana Picks. Nico, what motivates you to do what you do?
What motivates me to do what I do? I mean, I just really love what I do. I when I'm not like out and about, I feel like I'm missing out on something, and
I know that about you.
For better or worse. It's why I don't really travel that much, because whenever I go, like during the pandemic, I went away like twice for a weekend trip upstate, and that was when Biden won the election, which was just terrible timing. And then, oh man, the second time I went was even worse.
Well, it wasn't when Biden won the election. It's when they officially announced that.
When they officially announced it, yeah.
Or else you would have been here. But you couldn't plan when they were like all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
Remember? Yeah.
Yep. And then there was another time I left and something crazy happened. But yeah, I mean, that's just what motivates me, is just loving New York and loving, showcasing interesting people and places. And there's nothing better than when I can like put someone on. Like, that's why I call myself the unofficial talent scout, because I love being able to like just put interesting people on.
Yeah.
It's like
special power.
There's no greater feeling than that.
Yeah. You're the guy. And it makes it like, it's what social media is made for. I mean, should be made for, like more good of what you're doing. Like, it just brings everyone so much joy when like small businesses, people, whatever. Mm-hmm. You like have a good eye to like who deserves the shine.
For sure. Well, sometimes am I allowed to curse?
Yeah.
Sometimes I fuck up and like give the wrong people the attention.
Yeah.
There've definitely been a few cases where I thought I had a good sense of like who this person was, but then shortly after I find out they're like not great people.
Right.
But I do my best to kind of rectify that.
Totally. Yeah, someone actually, I think one of the questions was something along those lines. Mm-hmm. Next question is from Ginger Day. Will Nico be doing another NYC singles series? I need another summertime bae. What's the future? Talk for a second about this dating thing that you did recently.
So on Easter, this woman approached me and told me that she had met her boyfriend through my Instagram, and it turns out her boyfriend is Billy Din, who submitted a photo to my Best New York Photo contest. Uh-huh. And I guess when I posted his photo, she reached out to him, and they just started chatting, and long story short, they now are dating. And I thought that was so cool. And I've heard that before from people that I've posted, that they've like met their significant other through my page. So I thought it would be cool, and also good timing now that like things are starting to open back up, to do like a, like the old school like dating videos. I thought it would be cool to do something like that. Also similar to my Best New York Accent contest, right, where people like just self-submit videos that I can share. So I had people submit videos talking about what they're looking for in a relationship, if they're single and looking. And I posted about like 150 of those videos and called it New York Nico Connections. And I think a lot of people found dates through it, which is pretty cool. But it was so much work. I only did it for like 5 days.
Yeah.
And it got to be so much work, and I don't think anyone else could have done it with me, because it would mean having to give my password to somebody.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. So yeah, I ended it after 5 days, but I'll probably bring it back.
Maybe season 2.
There'll probably be a season 2.
Yeah.
But there's like 150 people out there on my page right now looking for love. So if you're interested, go check them out.
Okay. So it feels good to like give these people shine that are talented. You're the talent scout, but does it feel better to give these people a romance, to give them romance, to give them a partner?
Feels great. You know, like I said, I've had a lot of people reach out to me that they're going on dates, but we'll see, if something happens, maybe someone, decides to get married, that would be really cool.
Yeah. Get a lot of those wedding invites.
Yeah, exactly. And like a year or 2 from now, I'm expecting that.
I wonder if any babies will be named after
sure.
you.
Well, yeah.
That'd be incredible.
That should have been in like the fine print that if you have a child, you have to name it Nico.
No matter what gender.
Yes.
Next question is from Dave Krugman. Who's the person who has helped, whose story he is most moved by? I'm not sure if I...
Whose story am I most moved by?
Yeah, whose story are you most...
Shout out Dave Krugman.
Who lives in this building, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah, small world.
Nice.
That's why I love New York.
Dave!
3rd floor, so I don't know. It's like...
Which story was I most moved by? Well, back in July, I started my mom and pop drop hashtag, which was kind of meant to help struggling small businesses. And the first one that I did was Henry from Army Navy Bag. And my friend Gabe reached out to me, told me that he was really struggling. Someone set up a GoFundMe for him because, he owed a lot of back rent, like $50,000 worth of back rent. So I visited him and did a little interview with him, posted on my Instagram, and I didn't know him that well. Like I had seen him around here and there. But I didn't realize until I read the comments how big of an impact he had on his customers. And that just like really warmed my heart. The fact that, and you also have to realize that I went on to do a lot of these mom and pop drops, and that was the first one. So if it wasn't for Henry, I probably wouldn't have done, after seeing the success of his, if his didn't do well, I don't know if I would have continued it. Cause it's
not even the success, like to raise the money, but also like the emotion and humanity element of like, everyone, he's so grateful. And like, it felt so good on your end to know that you're helping out a really good person. And then just bringing the community together to help. It's just like,
it's great.
Makes me tingly just like talking about it.
For sure. But yeah, just like reading the comments, and also like him reading the comments was incredible. Just like seeing him read it, and because he didn't realize how loved he was. And that was just awesome. That was so cool. So, there were a lot of stories that I could give you, but that's the first one that comes to mind because he made such an impact on me. Yeah.
So this is, for anyone not familiar, this is Henry in the Army and Navy store.
Army Navy Bags surplus store on 177 Houston Street.
Yeah. So if you're visiting New York or not familiar with the store, check it out.
Also, if you haven't checked out my mom and pop drop series, I have it as a highlight in my Instagram. Yeah,
look through that highlight or hashtag, whatever you prefer. Question from Calvin Churn. What makes you so passionate about NYC? I guess you kind of answered that before.
Yeah, I mean, but I would have to bring it back to my LA story, just like realizing that this is kind of where I belong, and growing up here obviously makes you super passionate about New York. I have so many amazing memories, nostalgia for New York.
Yeah. Best childhood memory as a kid New Yorker. Kid growing up in New York. I can't imagine what it's like growing up in New York.
I mean, I loved like Little League. Playing baseball in Greenwich Village was awesome.
Nice.
Basketball
Hit any
too.
Dingers?
No dingers. No dingers. Going to Yankees games. I went to David Wells' perfect game. That was a crazy memory. I remember they were giving out Valentino Beanie Babies that day, and I'm sure if I kept that with the card, I must have it somewhere. I don't know where it would be, but I'm sure it's worth a lot of money. Maybe it's not, but regardless, that was a great memory. I mean, one of these days I have to just like really think about it because I have so many memories.
Yeah. My only thought, just thinking of a New York kid as a kid, I just thought of Hey Arnold, even though it might have not necessarily been New York or Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, that's my favorite show.
Did you feel like Hey Arnold?
Not so much. I mean, you know, I feel like so Hey Arnold is takes place in like a fictitious city that's based on New York, or I'm sorry, Brooklyn and Seattle and I think Chicago. Craig Bartlett, the creator, has said what it's based on. But anyway, I feel like that experience is way more Brooklyn than Manhattan.
Yeah.
But that said, I like grew up watching it and still to this day one of my favorite shows.
I agree. Question from Maru32. If you could change anything about NYC, what would it be?
Oh man, that's a really good question too. I mean, there's a lot that I would change.
Trying to think of what I would change right now. Actually, I know what I would change.
What's that?
Helps you with your idea. I would change how dirty, at least my neighborhood gets really dirty and polluted. People just like throw trash around in my neighborhood. I wish some of these streets were just like cleaner, more pleasant to walk on. Like on a windy day, sometimes you just see that like wind circle of trash just going to mini tornado.
But I would say to somehow get rid of all the assholes, all the racist people, all the people who don't really need to live here. You know, there's a lot of idiots who live here. Like every day someone sends me a new video of like someone committing a hate crime or just being super disrespectful or being a Karen or something like that. And like I wish all those people would go to like, I'm not gonna, I wouldn't wish any state has to take them on, but I mean, if I had a magic wand, I guess I would get rid of them. It's been sad like in the news lately. I saw the story in Greenpoint. Oh my God, it's just like terrible. I'd agree with you on that one. It's more important than trash. I would say so.
Questions coming in from Nate Rots 48. When are the blue New York Nico hats coming? Is that a thing? Are there
I'm actually
blue hats
stoked
coming?
that people are asking about that. Yes, there are. We're gonna put out some blue Nico hats. Probably by the time this podcast comes out.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll link the hats in the description.
Hey.
Question from Alex_Herrera. What's your go-to song right now?
My go-to song, let me check.
He's opening his Spotify or iTunes.
Spotify.
Yeah, same.
I've been listening to song. I've been listening to this song called Stain by West Side Gun and Peter Rosenberg. I've been listening to the new Conway Machine album. Ski on the new Young Thug.
Wait, can you play one of them real quick? Let's jam out for a second. Can we play a song on this podcast?
Can you license it? Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
This is the West Side Gun song. It's how every West Side Gun song should sound. How long you want me to play this for?
I think I'm good. Yeah, that's nice. Moving on to the next question.
If you need a license, let me know. I'll put you in touch with Peter Rosenberg.
Thanks, man. I was actually hanging out yesterday. Got lunch
I saw. With his girlfriend.
Yeah, it's a small world.
Yeah. Where was my invite? You were hanging out with all the people I like hanging out with.
I thought you were busy.
I was, but still.
We're hanging out today, so I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Next question is from the Janelle Show. You mentioned before that you struggle with anxiety. What are some tips and tricks you've used?
Well, tips and tricks. I would highly recommend going to therapy. I don't go as much as I should, but because honestly, I don't go as much anymore because I hate doing the the Zoom therapy sessions. I'd much rather do it in person, and for whatever reason, my therapist doesn't allow that. So therapy. I would also recommend this audiobook called Dare, Dare, by Barry McDonough. when I was dealing with a lot of my anxiety, I would listen to that and it would make me feel really good. He like Dare is like I haven't listened to it in a while, and I have a really shitty memory, so I'm probably gonna butcher it, but he has like 4 steps on how to manage anxiety, especially like physical anxiety when it comes in.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is to like not try to push it away, just allow it to like wash over you and understand that like you are not these feelings. So when I remind myself that, it always makes me feel a lot calmer. And what else?
Yeah, I saw you
I would
like
start there.
You opened
honestly, yeah. When I was really dealing with anxiety, like debilitating anxiety, a friend of mine, I would shout him out, but I don't know if he wants me to put him on blast as it pertains to this. But
let's just say his name's Jeff.
Jeff wanted to. His name is actually Jeff. That's not Jeff.
Okay. I was gonna say.
But he told me to listen to this audiobook, and I was like, oh fuck, like I hate these stupid fucking audiobooks. He's like, no dude, just listen to it, like trust me.
And this is Dare. And
I listened to it and I was like, holy shit, like I felt better like that. It was crazy. And then I've had like some ups and downs since then, but it's just been it's been super helpful. So I would highly recommend that.
Cool. How are you doing today / lately?
I'm good. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I mean, you know, ups and downs, but for the most part, like
that's life.
So much better.
Yeah. Question from Mayor Hamel. Favorite Jewish holiday?
Purim. I love Purim.
Yeah.
That's the best. The best.
Yep. Specifically
Williamsburg Purim.
Yeah, in New York.
Yep.
Purim. It's a special time in New York.
Oh yeah.
That was like the first real time we hung out, I think.
Yeah, it was. No, it wasn't the first real time, but it was
like the first time we did something.
That's when we like bonded for real.
First time we did something creative together.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Purim. Shout out all my Jews.
Shout out Purim.
Yeah.
Next question's from What in the World? Who are 3 people? Oh, I asked that question already. Okay, next question's from none other than, speaking of Purim, Side Talk NYC.
Oh no.
Is it true that Nico smokes Zaza every day?
God.
Eyeball emojis.
Seriously, that's what they asked? They could have asked anything, they asked that.
I mean, you want to hear their other questions? They had 3 questions, and I wanted to pick the one
that's
that was
obviously
most
a stupid
kosher.
Question because everyone knows that I don't smoke Zaza.
You want to hear the other ones?
Go ahead.
All right, other questions from Side Talk NYC. When is Nico Jr on the way?
Oh, God.
And the other question from Side Talk is, how many glizzies did you eat at the Yankee game? Do you want to answer any? You got to answer one of them.
How many glizzies did I eat at the Yankee game?
Yeah.
0.
Okay.
There you go, Side Talk. You wasted a stupid fucking question.
Yeah, apparently you're their intern from the last podcast.
I know.
They mentioned that. So
I know.
I hope they don't fire you from that. Question from Dane Isaac. Have there been any dating app matches that you know of?
Yeah. Tons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there might be, you might make a video around it in the future.
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah. There'll definitely be a follow-up for sure.
Awesome. Cool. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Question from Julian or .tease. Favorite bar in New York?
Favorite bar in New York. I'm not really a bar person. I don't drink that much. But if I had to choose,
Carmelo's?
I got into a bar fight at Carmelo's. For those who don't know, I think that's why that's why I don't go to bars, because I just drink and get into fights.
Which is so uncharacteristic of you if you know Nico.
Yeah, but after a couple cranberry vodkas and a man who's trying to step to my girl
at the pool table. Should we do a little story time really quick on that night or not?
No, maybe another time. Maybe season 2.
Okay.
Favorite bar though, Ray's is cool. Shout out Ray's.
Still haven't been there. I see AP post about it all the time.
Yeah. He's there every night.
The disco ball there looks cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say Ray's.
Okay. Any bars in your neighborhood that you ever gone to?
I actually haven't been to any bars in my neighborhood.
Oh.
Yeah.
Question from Francis Mask. Can you talk more about your Topps Project 70 cards you've been dropping?
Yeah. So me and 50 other artists are a part of this Topps Project 70 series, which is a really cool project. We're basically reinterpreting 20 baseball cards from Topps, and over the course of a year. And I've been working on it with my girlfriend Naomi, who's a really talented designer and illustrator, and I'm kind of like art directing. And we've released 3 cards so far.
Which have been what? Jeter?
Derek Jeter, Gleyber Torres, Pete Alonso. So I'm only doing New York teams.
Why am I not surprised?
And yeah, it's a great, cool project. Really, I've never done anything like that before. So.
Yeah. Definitely going outside of your comfort zone a little bit from what you're used to, right? And then
I love working with Naomi, so
yeah, that's cool to have.
That's my comfort zone.
Yeah. How's that been working with your partner?
It's great.
Yeah.
We do a lot together, so.
Yeah, you have some past collaborations too, like the Subway.
Yep, Subway train tips and tidbits. She also just like does all the design stuff that I need.
Power couple. You're like, it's like your parents. They're both like amazing artists, just like you two. It's pretty inspiring to see.
Appreciate that.
Question from Baby Carrot 45. Do you like baby carrots?
Is that you? Aren't you Baby Carrot?
Bro, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, that was
me.
Your Finsta? That was me. I'm not gonna lie, that was me. That's one of my Finstas.
Wow.
How did you know that?
Did not a lot of people submit questions?
No,
or
people
something?
submitted questions, but not a lot of people submitted curveball questions. I'm trying to ask all these serious questions.
That's a curveball?
But I like to slice it up with some like super, random questions that don't make any sense at all.
Oh. And
also, I'm just genuinely curious if you eat baby carrots.
Of course I eat baby carrots.
Okay.
With hummus, yeah.
Okay. Over
How's that account going, by the way?
Bad. Like, I'm not doing anything. I haven't posted on it in a very long time, but that account is dedicated to... Do you know what that account's about?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, go to Baby Carrot 45 if you want to see what that account's about.
Right. And don't check the photos that account likes, because that's probably your Finsta where you just scroll through and like...
Oh, yeah. Don't do that. Yeah. Don't do that. Please don't. Question from Incandescently Happy. Of all people he's met, whose story impacted him the most?
You asked me that already.
Did it? Yeah, I guess ask that question in a different frame. All right, we'll skip to the next one, which is from Nikki RP. If you had a time machine, what part of your life or history would you travel back to?
That's a really good question. Damn, honestly, I don't know. Any time would be cool. I would love to... Well, that's a hard question because, like, am I time traveling knowing what I know now?
Yes.
Or am I am?
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what they meant, but...
like know it, like with all the knowledge of like what... So you would like invest in like... You would
not necessarily,
but
like I would go back into high school, or I would go back to high school knowing what I know now and like work harder at this,
right.
Yeah. It would be cool to do the LA thing again, but like knowing what I know now. Actually, no, it wouldn't, because it would probably be the same shit.
Yeah, so no regrets. You just don't really live in the present. You're living in the present.
Well, I don't think that was necessarily like a what do you regret question. I think it was just like, what do you want to like relive?
Yeah, okay, let me rephrase this question. So if you had a time machine, you could just go back for a day and just like live in that life, enjoy it for a day. It doesn't change your life now or anything. You can just like go back and chill.
Yeah.
What would that time period be?
I think high school. I've been feeling like very nostalgic for high school lately. Just because like I'm starting to forget a lot. So yeah, maybe just like a day in high school would be cool.
Cool. Question from Kyle K. Gonzalez. Anybody, any company, or any industry that he wants to work with that he hasn't already?
I've kind of worked with the Yankees, but not with them directly. So it'd be cool to work with the Yankees directly.
Any player specifically that you want to
player? What? No, it would just be the Yankees as a whole. Like I would want to make their like, their like hype real or something. Who else?
I could see that happening. I mean, who could do it I mean, you can do better.
What else? I don't know. I mean, I just did something that we dropped today.
I have a question about that. We'll get to that. So let's move on to the next question.
And that wasn't supposed to drop today, so I'm glad it did. So
it just happened out of nowhere?
It was supposed to drop on Sunday, but then they were like, oh, let's just do it today.
Okay. Yeah.
But
question from JFA Damo. What time period of NYC do you find the most special?
The most special for me personally, it was like early 2010s, around the time that How to Make It in America was on HBO, and I guess that ties into one of your next questions.
Yeah, the question definitely comes up, but yeah, that show's inspiring.
Whenever I like watch that show, I just feel so nostalgic for that time period in New York.
Right.
Because for me, it's like right when I was like in college, getting out of college, and you know, I was like trying to make it as well.
It perfectly aligned with your timing.
Just being like 20, early 20s, like in that time period was pretty special.
Yeah. Next question's from Sin Sayeh. How did you and Jerm become friends?
That's a good question. I probably slid into your DMs. Should we look at what our very first DM conversation was?
We might have to scroll back a while. We probably have to
scroll a lot.
While you try to remember, let me see if I could scroll back. I don't know if this is possible, but
I remember the first time I saw Jerm in person. I'd followed you, but the first time I saw you in person was at Hanksy, also known now as Adam Lucas's surplus candy exhibit on the Lower East Side.
Yeah, I remember going to that gallery.
I remember seeing you and thinking like, oh my God, he's a celebrity. What is he doing here? Which is so funny that I saw you. I literally like was too afraid to talk to you because I thought you were a celebrity. And yeah, I was like really pissed at myself for not approaching you, but I was like, oh, this guy's probably like so intimidating. Dude, yeah. I just thought you were super intimidating, and then
I'd like to think I'm like one of the least intimidating people ever.
You totally are, but
I like saying hi to everyone.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. I was just super shy, but yeah. And then I guess like at some point you must have followed me back, and I was super hyped. So we started DMing, and I asked you to link up, and we met at Union Square. And yeah,
I remember meeting at Union Square. We sat on the steps and just chatted. It was cool.
Yeah.
Felt like it was friendship at first sight.
It was.
I just tried scrolling back, and
you're only at
I just kept scrolling the whole time we were talking. Yeah. I was just scrolling with my thumb, and all I got back to was May 24th, 2019, and it's a photo or video you took that World Star reposted of Giblet the pig. So, and then
we probably met in 2016, 17.
Yeah, sounds about right. But we'll scroll back.
Keep scrolling.
Keep scrolling while I ask the question.
Okay, well, I guess you have to look at your phone.
I'll go to the next question, then I'll keep scrolling.
I'm just really curious.
I'm curious too. All right. So next question is from Marie Len. How's the weather in NYC in September, and what are some amazing spots to check out? Can I reword that question for her a little bit? So she asked, what are some amazing spots to check out? What are some amazing businesses, spots, small businesses that you love that we could check out? I know you post about them on your Instagram, but just to name a few and like describe them in your words.
Well, first of all, I would say check out my mom and pop drop hashtag, because you'll see all the businesses that I've profiled. But if I had to like rattle off some names, go with 3 off the top of your head. Astor Place Hairstylist. Whether you need a haircut or not, you should go there because it's like a museum, and you should see Big Mike's art gallery there. While you're at Astor Place, go across the street to Cozy Soup and Burger, one of the best, oldest diners in New York. And then, you go to Washington Square Park, walk through the park, and hit up Chess Forum, which is, I think, one of the only chess stores in New York.
Is there any other chess store?
I don't think there is. Yeah. So yeah, those are 3 spots, but I would highly suggest that you check out Mom and Pop Drop.
Let me interrupt this
Did you find it?
Notify you that I found our first DM.
No.
It's from December 9th, 2016. and you just DM'd me. You DM'd me your give back kickback party on.
Oh,
that you were doing.
Yeah.
In Washington Square Park.
I remember that. Yep.
And I thought it was cool, and I responded, dude, I wish I could go. I'm out of town until Tuesday. You responded, all good, Papa. Longtime fan, heart.
I called you Papa?
You never sent me hearts.
Why would I call you Papa?
I don't know. You did. And then you said, you asked me about a work opportunity in DC. You remember?
Oh yeah.
Wait, I didn't have your number before DC. You're like, shoot me a line if you want to chat, and then drop me your number.
Nice.
Wow. So the DC thing, we were barely. That's crazy.
Wait, did you come to? You didn't come to DC. Oh no, because then you gave the job to Anisha.
No, that was a different job.
Oh.
Yeah, I came to DC. Unless, at least one of the times, I came to DC.
Oh, that was for a different project.
With Robert.
Yeah. But it was a different project.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense then. Okay, cool. I'm glad I found that. I just screenshotted that, so I'll send you that later, and maybe post it in the YouTube version of this.
Right here.
Question from clean_Bushwick_initiative. One of my favorite Instagram accounts.
Are they going to ask me when I'm going to come out to?
No, they're not.
Because I will.
She just asked. It's
Let
Nicole.
me know next time.
Yeah, I'll let you know. She just asked Nicole. She asked Knicks or Nets? Smiley face.
Knicks.
Yeah, easy question.
Yeah, 8 in a row, baby. And by the time this podcast drops, it'll be 10 in a row.
Bold prediction.
Aren't we going to the game next week? Or no, that's in May.
May 13th.
I bought 2 tickets to 2 different games.
Did I Venmo you for that yet?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Actually, I think you did. I think you're the only one who did.
Okay.
Yeah, which is what I like about you.
Thanks.
You're always the first one to Venmo me.
Well, if I don't do it right away, I'll forget. And I'll feel
true.
terrible. I don't want you to be in the situation where you're like, hey, can you pay me? It's like weird. Knicks are like actually good this year, which is crazy. Yeah. I mean,
I'd like to think it has to do with the commercial that we made for them.
Honestly, maybe.
It might be.
Yeah.
It plays at the beginning of every game, so might hype them up.
I'm a big Sixers fan, but I like to see the Knicks.
Well, you're doing phenomenally.
Yeah. Well, we'll see how it comes
And isn't Embiid still injured? Or
he's back. He's back. Yeah, but I think the NBA is better when like big market teams perform better, aka like the biggest market team, the Knicks. So now that they're playing better, and plus I like rooting for the Knicks. They're the New York team.
Julius Randle,
he's crushing it. He's absolutely crushing it.
He said in a press conference yesterday, he was just like, "New York, we back," and I was like, "Oh my god."
They better sign him to a long-term deal.
They better. Which it's crazy because at the beginning of the season, that was like right when I dropped the commercial that I produced for them. And I was like reading all the comments, and everyone was like, get rid of Randall. And it's like,
wow, they don't know what they're doing.
Stupid.
Yeah. Question from _Tomer_Levy_. What is your favorite hobby outside of filming?
It's interesting you asked me that, because Naomi always tells me that I need a hobby because I don't have any.
Well, when I saw that question, I was like, wait, I'm actually interested because I don't know what your other.
I don't really have hobbies.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been playing a lot of. No, I've been playing a lot of Crash Bandicoot lately, but I don't think that's a hobby.
That's a hobby, playing video games.
I mean, I would say my hobby is like just walking around, but I guess that's also like filming. Kind of my job. Naomi said that I should take up knitting, but I'm not going to do that.
Would you ever golf?
Like driving range golf or golf?
Either or.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, but what about actual golf?
Yeah, I'd do anything with you.
Okay. Well, we should do that this summer.
Okay.
If you have a car again, especially.
Yeah.
Because you know that I'm pretty sure it's the oldest golf course in America is in the Bronx.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So.
Dope.
It's kind of legendary. I went there once.
Nice.
Question from Elijah Norija. For someone who wants to live in New York, what would you tell them to make the big leap?
What would I tell them to make the big leap? Oh, about New York?
So someone thinking about moving to New York but hasn't necessarily made the move yet, because it's a big decision.
I don't want to have to convince anyone to move to New York. Like, we don't need,
Fair.
we need people who are on the fence
Fair.
about
All right,
moving
don't
to New York.
come to New York. Cool. All right, moving on to the next question, which is from Florida_girl. If you could live anywhere in the world other than New York, where would it be? This is also, mind you, from Florida Girl.
Yeah.
Is her handle.
Definitely not Florida. So. No offense, Florida Girl.
Sorry, Florida.
I would move to Tokyo. I fuck with Tokyo.
Nice. And for any reason specifically,
I mean, it's just like kind of like another New York in a way.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I spoke the language, I would be able to find interesting characters there as well.
Right. Cool. Tokyo. Yeah, I want to go there someday.
Oh man, I would love to go with you. You'd be so fun to go to Tokyo with.
Let's do it. Question from Lick Nizzo. What's your bagel order? Also, thank you for honoring Vinny.
Shout out Vinny Peanuts,
yeah.
RIP. Go-to bagel order is bagel with lox, everything on it. Capers, onions, tomato, scallions, or scallion cream cheese.
Yeah.
I do not toast my bagel. And I prefer everything if they have it. But recently I found out I was lactose intolerant, so I don't eat it as much. And if I do, I gotta pop a Lactaid.
It's crazy how much the capers make a difference.
Love capers.
Yeah. Love capers. Makes all the difference in
and
those sandwiches.
my favorite spot to go to get bagel and lox is Zabar's.
Oh. Want to know something embarrassing about me? I commented on your post.
You've never been to Zabar's.
I've never been to Zabar's. Still haven't been. I'm gonna go.
That's crazy.
It's just, it's an hour away from where I live. It's like a little trip, but I'm gonna do it. So this question, which you've been waiting for, from Joe Fuzz 13, what's good with a new How to Make It in America?
What's good with a new How to Make It in America?
Well, he saw you post the teaser,
right?
And is there? So what's the deal?
I'm not doing anything with a third season of How to Make It in America, if that's the question.
Right. Do you have any insider knowledge you can share, or?
I do that I'm not going to share. But I did just today release a little video teaser thing with this clothing company called Hidden, where Vic Rassuk and Brian Greenberg kind of reprised their roles. It's just a 60-second video, but it kind of made some waves just because no one's really seen them together since the show. And also, it's just like starting to raise awareness, not starting to raise awareness about the show, but like bringing them back up in conversation. Because it's at this point, it's been like 10 years and it's become a cult classic. It was cut super short. It was only 2 seasons. It ended anticlimactically, got canceled. So, they didn't wrap it up.
It's probably the best show ever that got canceled way too early.
I mean, I would say that and Freaks and Geeks, two shows that got canceled way too early. But yeah, people are like sounding off in the comments saying like, let's see season 3. So who knows? That would be my dream, is to bring back How to Make It in America, to like help, produce and direct How to Make It in America season 3.
Let's manifest it.
That's what I hope this is doing.
The question is from Lank. Is there anyone you regret making famous / known?
Yes.
Yeah, we kind of touched upon this earlier.
Yeah.
But because a lot of these people you don't actually know. You just have your 7-second impression. A little bit.
For sure. Yeah, I don't really have the time to like do full-on background checks.
Yeah.
And even if I did, like there's some people who are like super manipulative and,
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm not going to name any names, but you can probably figure it out.
Question from Call Fio. What is one of your first videos that you took that you still look back on and appreciate?
One of the first videos that I took that I look back
would it be
on.
something like from the Know Your City series, or?
Damn, that's a good question.
Here, we'll go on to the next question, and if something pops up, you can just splurge it out. Question from AirVince1. What's the most gentrified experience you've ever had in New York?
The most gentrified experience I've had in New York. Going to a bodega, ordering a bacon, egg, and cheese, and getting a hard-boiled egg with bacon and cheese inside the egg.
Yeah, there's a photo of that on your page, right?
There's a photo of that on my page.
That was a good post. Question from Kosha Dills.
There we go.
Your boy.
Here we go.
If you could help throw a festival this summer, who would you book?
Kosha Dills. I would definitely book Kosha Dills. I would have him kind of. He would be my guy. You know, I'd be like, "Yo, Kosha, I got a budget to do this. Can you make this happen?" Yeah. And he'll make it happen.
Okay, so say you had a New York music festival.
Yeah, that is a good question though.
Where would it be, and what are like? Who's your headliner, and who's like a couple of other musicians you got play? Like
I think it would be sick to do a small festival. Like, I mean, small, like 200-300 people. Small or
like small, like it's a day festival.
Mm-hmm. I think it would be cool to do something in the skate park under the Brooklyn Bridge, the Harold Hunter skate park. Mm-hmm. And I would book just like some solid New York acts. Show Me the Body. Yeah. I'm, craving to go to a Show Me the Body show, although I feel like I might be too old at this point.
Nah.
Wiki. Love Wiki. Who else?
Bobby Shmurda?
Well, yeah, Bobby Shmurda. I mean, if I'm talking about like a dream concert,
yeah, dream
with
concert.
Like people that wouldn't necessarily Cameron. I mean, I'll get Dipset, get Wu-Tang. Well, now that we're talking about these people, we probably have to move it to somewhere bigger. But
yeah,
Bobby Shmurda would be sick. If I could bring Pop Smoke back from the dead, are we like?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, Pop Smoke, Fabio Foreign. Who else?
Fat Joe.
Sure, Fat Joe.
Remy Ma.
Remy Ma would be great. Young M.A. 6ix9ine could be there. I think that would add a lot of entertainment. See how he interacts with people.
Yeah. All right, give us one more
person or artist.
Yeah.
ASAP Ferg. Yeah.
Cool. I would want Cardi B in there somewhere too.
Oh, Spider Cuz would be good.
Oh, Spider Cuz.
Yeah.
Good. Question from Sizzle Reel Gang. Would you consider doing interviews of New York mayoral candidates on your page?
Definitely. And I will be doing that with a publication very soon. Wow. May or may not be announced by the time you drop this.
So it's happening soon.
It's happening.
Cool.
Yes.
That's exciting.
It is exciting.
I think that's great.
I'm very excited because I don't know who I want to vote for yet. And I feel like a lot of people are in the same boat.
Yeah, and it shows. I mean, who's a lot of people? Your audience. A lot of people will see like who the mayoral candidates are.
Right.
I think. Wow, I'm just like really stuttering my words right now. But like, I think it'll be a really cool way to give each of these candidates like 1 minute on your page to say what they want to say, like a debate style almost.
Well, it's going to be a different format than that, but yes. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever it is, I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Question from Hydration Station, New York. Even though Charlie won, who is your favorite contestant in the New York Accent Challenge?
My favorite contestant would have to be Wayne Diamond. Wayne Diamond's got the best New York accent of all time. And you should have Wayne Diamond on the podcast.
Should I? Would he come through?
Oh yeah, for
He's got stories, right?
Definitely.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna have him on my podcast, so maybe you shouldn't have him.
Well, maybe after yours.
Yeah.
So you can get the initial ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this is the last question, and it's from Olivia Rose Johnson. What's your end goal?
What's my end goal? I don't really set goals because I like being able to like just pivot whenever the opportunity arises. That's how things just like, when things pop up, I want to be not get distracted by the goal and just like go after that. But I do really want to do a TV show. I got a couple in the works right now. Would love to do movies. Would love to do some scripted stuff. Writing a short film that I'm planning to shoot this summer. But yeah, I don't know. Just take
whatever it is, I'm excited for it.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that wraps up everything. So thanks so much for coming through and answering these questions. Where can people find you who doesn't already know? And
everyone can find me at 757 Monroe Avenue, apartment 6. That's a made-up address.
Oh, it sounded like it could be your address.
No.
Okay.
Where can you find me? New York Nico.
Yeah. And then what's the main thing you want to promote right now of yours?
The main thing that I want to promote right now, I guess, I don't know.
Mom and pop shop. I don't know.
Yeah, mom and
I guess just go check out New York Nico. He's constantly posting new stuff that's always really interesting and feel good. So yeah, anyways, thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Ask Not Me Anything podcast. And hopefully I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Hopefully you'll catch them on the next one.
I hope so. Tune into the next one. I think it'll be interesting because it'll be good. Teaser. Oh, the next one. Should I tell who the next one is? The next episode is going to be someone named Tori.
Oh.
Tori's going to be the last episode of season 1. And yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm a little nervous, but it should be good. So tune into the next episode. Peace.